The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good. Billy Ray feeling good to us. Our guest today will be Tim Bost. Tomorrow we will have Joe DiNapoli. And so we'll have a full docket here for the rest of the week. We're going to start out the market with a little bit of storytelling. First of all, those of you that watched the Dodgers-St. Louis game last night, it was very exciting. Folks, one of the big joys in life is when you've got two daughters that were involved in this stuff very heavily back when they were teenagers. They're still watching it today, even though they don't know any of the players or anything. And it is really quite exciting to remember the memories that we had were just, it was just absolutely priceless. Hold on here. I think we have someone calling in. Okay, I think I posted one chart. I'll try to post it. I don't think I did. All right, let's do it the right way. Here's what I was looking at this morning, boys and girls. We'll take a quick look. First of all, I want to cover the crude oil because we had a very nice retracement in the crude oil last night. If you'll give me a break here, I will send this up to, got to make sure I get the right one here. Move it up and show you where we are. We came down. We made a 78% retracement of the last move. Look at that move down, folks. In September, we dropped a little over $4 a barrel, and we went from 80 down to 75. We dropped $5 a barrel, stopping almost exactly at the 78% level last night. And as you can see, we've already traced 61% of that move, going back. Okay, now let's, I do one thing at a time. I have a funny story, though. My daughter from Colorado called me, and somebody from Colorado, evidently, that they know, listens to the TFNN and called my daughter because they knew who she was and everything. And the fact that I told the story about the Mets from October the 6th of 1969, and she called me up and she says, Dad, she says, that should be embarrassing for you. And I said, Larry, I said, it really wasn't. I said, it's always been fun because I paid the price because you became a model. And of course, she is quite nice looking. But anyway, it was really funny to listen to that. Okay, now let's get to the pedal and the metal, boys and girls. I've been doing this business a very long time. Okay, let's just get to you. This is the truth. This is truth or dare, baby. Truth or consequences. This is where you have to stand in and play the game, and I probably screwed this one up really bad, but the good part is, I'll show you in just a second. Here's what I was looking at early this morning. I'll show you the NASDAQ chart in just a second, because the NASDAQ has been the leader of the pack. I was expecting the S&P to gap up. So what I did was I called Rich Anderson, who happens to be an options specialist, and I said, what do you think we could buy this for? And he said, well, just a few days ago it was selling for 800. So I figured, well, we could probably risk half of that, to see if we could buy it. It's good for 13 days. Well, the good part was we got filled at $370 on the thing, so I'm not sure what's going to happen from that level. Let's get this up here to show you, because the market gapped up. I expected it to gap up to the 61% retracement, 382 retracement, but it went all the way to the 786 retracement on this. So the fill was actually at a really good price. So now you're locked in you're short the market for 13 days. And your total risk is $370. I just don't know how anybody would write the other side of that option, given the fact I know all the world's problems have been solved over the weekend. We got the debt thing out of control. We got China out of control. We got COVID out of control. Everything's working great, and the market's up 500-600 points, and they do that in one day. Hello, operator. Something's not right with this thing. Anyway, let me show you this NASDAQ chart, why I was looking at it. Now, this was acting pretty good. This was right after the market had opened. I want to give you a little heads up here, because what happened is Okay, there is where we were looking at. We hit that exact. The 382 on this was just around 14,900, I believe. We went to 14,950 on a 1.618 expansion. The market backed off, and then the S&P opened up 40 points, and away it went. It went up 60, and that violated that. Right now, it's trading below it, but that's still a little early in the day. But this is very, very emotional times. The reason why I did that option was two. I thought because when you're doing an option for that price, let's say we got filled at $800, okay? If this market is up today and closes really strong, which it probably will, and if it's up tomorrow, that option price will be in half. So my risk is going to be even under $370. So that's why I did that. It's all about risk control. The futures, not so much. They're quite crazy and wild, which you've got to expect, but that's why I did. I haven't done an option for the 24/7 folks in well over a year and a half. Well, I think it's been that long anyway, because I don't really, I don't like him very much. But this one is not a bad play for two reasons. One is you've got 13 days. It expires on the 20th. And if you remember, we had our friend Stan Harley on, and he says he's expecting the bottom in the market to come in on the 20th. So that's not a bad deal. The pattern is there. It gapped up, of course, but I have no control over that. I was actually glad to see the gap, because it gave us a better price. So I don't know where it's trading right now, but we'll see how it ends up. If someone knows where that option is trading right now, let me know, because we bought it at 370, and I'm not sure. It's a 44.35 October 20 SPY put is what it is. So we'll see what's moving on to that area right here. He said the 20th is what he said, Dan, and the reason why I know that is because, you know what, Dan? You are absolutely right. Because he said it's the 18th. That's correct. Well, we have it till the 20th. But he's going to be on our show on Monday, the 18th. And I didn't write that down. Shut the front door and raise the rent. Just a minute here. STAN. Okay. That's it right there. Okay. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at. So it's a good risk. It's a good risk for the money. I wouldn't, frankly, write that call if I were a writer of that call for that smaller risk, because, of course, they protect themselves pretty easily. But anyway, that's the whole theory behind the trade. That number in the S&P came in at 44.14, I believe, 44.14. But it looks like it's, they're going to run it for quite a bit to the upside, or whatever you want to see it. We'll see what's going on here. Okay, let me get back to you for just 1 second here. A couple other things that I think are really important. I covered the crude oil, the euro. We're still waiting for this euro, folks. We've got a really good chance. Let's get this up here to see where we are. And I haven't done anything with this yet, because I want to be as close. It's hard for me to get these charts up. If we can get this up here, you'll be able to see here that we need to get it just a little bit below that 115 level. We're trading around 115.30 or 40, I believe, sometime this morning. But we need to get it just a tiny bit lower, and then we'll see what's going on. Someone's asked the questions, why don't I do puts and calls all the time? Well, folks, if you buy puts or calls, your odds of you winning are less than 15%. Okay, and if you write those calls, the odds of winning are 85%. Those are great odds, but I'm a position trader. I don't use those options. Hey, listen, let's take a break. 877-927-6648.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the opening call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're back, folks, and we are going to talk about the German DAX and also the FTSE. As you can see, I posted that German DAX chart. It had a pretty big bottom down there, and we've had a big rally. That was continuation from here. Basically, what was going on in the news was the fact that this debt cycle thing has already been taken care of, and the China thing with Evergrande is taken care of. I think there was one other thing that Bloomberg talked about. They cured cancer, and everybody else gets a free education, something like that. I don't remember. It was all very, very bullish, and that's what gave this market a big boost. It was incredibly oversold. But to me, folks, and I've been doing this a very long time, if I can't do this trade right here, and I'm just doing this with the options because for you guys I am, for myself I'm watching the option, the stock price, the S&P prices. But you'll notice here, I was expecting it to go to a 382 retracement. Well, we gapped above that by quite a bit, and we went almost to the exact 78% retracement up there at 443. Now, I don't know where it's going to go from here, but the whole premise behind this is it allows you to be short the market for 13 days for a risk of about $400 or $500, okay? And those are good odds. I mean, you don't have to put up $16,000 to trade the S&P 500. Sure, it's got more volatility, but at least you have an option that has a potential with 13 days. Who knows? So that's what I'm looking at. So I will say this, and I mean this very, very sincerely. If this market makes a new high, it's time for my good friend and my trusty burro, Walter, and I are going to take a ride into the desert and retire and just work with my students and do the 24/7. I will not do the radio show anymore because I'll be that embarrassed that I missed probably the best buying opportunity of the whole fall coming in there just a few days ago. And if I did miss that, I shouldn't be doing this job. If you want to, it's a longer term. It's got a name, Mr. Z. It's Walter the burro. Anyway, let's talk just a little bit about the crude oil market again, because that did break about $5 a barrel from the high, $3 a barrel from the high. So it's had a pretty good chance here. Actually, it was $5, wasn't it? It was $5 break. Anyway, well, that's very important. You can see I posted that crude oil, the fact that the rally back stopped exactly at the 61% retracement. So remind ourselves that. We'll have to tell you a funny story that Laren, when she called, we were watching the Dodger game, and they would call every inning to see what was so exciting because they won with a home run in the bottom of the ninth. And it was just like the old days. They don't even know who the players are, but they were reminding me about how much fun we had during the 70s and 80s when we went to Dodger Stadium probably 2 or 3 times a week, and you used to get to go into the clubhouse and all the stuff. But my daughter's softball team, they were having a little trouble, so Wes Parker came out to work on practice. This was in March of 80. I think it was in March of 81 or 82. No, it had to be March of 80 or 81, somewhere in there. And his good buddy was Ron Say, who played for the Dodgers, and he lived in Westlake Village. And one of his kids went to school with my kids. They were boys. I had girls softball, so they came out to to help in practice that Saturday morning. Well, usually I might get one parent to help me get out there and coach these 15 little girls. Okay, I had 21 parents there that day, and what was so funny is I was totally unaware of the fact that Wes Parker, those of you that have ever seen pictures of him, he was a movie star, but he's just a really great, personable guy. He was dating one of the single moms in our area at Westlake Village. I wasn't even aware of it. My daughter said, "Dad, you better open your eyes." She said, "We even knew that." But they went together for a couple of years. But that's what we did. We did that, and the kids were reminding me of all the fun stuff we had. And someone asked me a question last night on email, because I mentioned to them that I was watching the Dodger game, and they asked if I ever met Sinatra. No, I never met Sinatra, but he never met me either. I sat next to him during Dodger games probably 3 times over an 8 or 9 year period. I saw him in Vegas, of course, but I never met the man. I never met Dean Martin or any of those guys, Sammy Davis Jr. But anyway, those are, I met a few movie stars, but they were my customers from Drexel. Hell, it was no big deal. I mean, they were just normal people, not too much else. Let's talk just a little bit more about the euro and the U.S. dollar, folks, because I think that is going to be a really, really big move, and it's going to involve gold. And I'm watching gold very, very closely. Every time it gets above the 1760 level, it seems to get hammered a little bit. But the odds are starting to favor that this thing, if we can get it down one more time, down to 1727, that's where I think we have to take a stand and buy the gold, and because it's got a chance to do it. I'd like to see that. I don't know where it's trading right now. The last time I saw it was trading where are we? It's trading at what, 1760? So it's no big deal, but it's got a chance. And I say that with a tongue in cheek. Let me just bring this up to you to show you what I'm sort of paying attention to. You'll be able to see it here. Hold on just a minute here. Tim Bost will be our guest, as I mentioned before. Tomorrow we've got Mr. Joe DiNapoli here. Last night we came right at a 61% retracement down there at 52. Let me bring this up so you can take a quick look at it here. But that's what I'm hoping to do, is to see that, come down to that area. And that's what I'm sort of watching here today. Okay, now let's move on here. And someone's asked a question about the Tesla. Tesla's got to be up big today, folks, with the rest of the market. I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, well, if it isn't, I'll be totally surprised, and surprised I am. Oh, it's up very slightly. I mean, Tesla's up just not really very much at all. Let's get this up to take a look at it. And let me see. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to do the technical part of moving this mouse around so that I can put charts into the room. And sometimes it's not as easy as it appears. Okay, here is the Tesla chart. And you'll notice here that we had the high up here 3-4 days ago. We down moved. The little rally we have today is, it's up about $10-12. That's not really very much, considering how much the stocks are really up. Folks, buying on the opening like that, when the market gaps up 200, 300, 400 points in the Dow, 40 points in the S&P, buying those big gap openings, yeah, sometimes they work pretty good for you, but all in all, boy, that's really tough. And the reason why it opens so much is people have their orders right on the open, and believe me, the people that take the other sides of those trades raise their offers. So that's why you're going to get really ripped on these things. If someone was kind enough to tell me, I'm just curious. I don't know because I'm not doing that put itself. I'm sort of doing the futures. But would someone in the room be kind enough to tell me where that SPY October 44.35 put is? It's in the money. It was purchased at 370. I just wanted to know because I don't do puts and calls very often, but for the risk-reward ratio on this, it just had to be done. If I can't do that trade, folks, I can't do any trade because that's a perfect Gartley pattern. Went higher than I expected it, but that's not unusual. Hey, stay tuned for Tim Bost. We'll be right with you.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks. I hope we have Tim Bost on the line. Timothy, are you there this morning? Well, The technical gods are not smiling on me today, boys and girls. We're going to have to wait a little bit until we hear from Tim. I'm sure the folks at TFNN will continue to try to contact him. But given the volatility of some of these markets, I'm not surprised that that's happening. So we'll take this. He's not available right now, but we'll wait till he comes on, and then we'll go from there. I'll keep talking here a little bit about some of these things. And since we have, to me, folks, I look at these things as patterns. I don't understand the fundamentals, and I don't really care, because the stuff that I listen on TV, you don't know whether 2/3 of it is true or not. But the real key here is what's happening here with this dollar index, because it's got to get up a little bit higher to complete that big weekly number here. This question is it going to do it or not? Let's just get it up here. I want to show you both of them, because it's quite. This is what I try to drill into people to watch this, because there's that daily pattern. As you can see, that's a really nice 3-drive pattern. But the key to this whole thing, and that is this one that's coming up here right now. And this is the old Woodward and Bernstein deal, where you follow the money. This is the U.S. dollar, and you'll see here that that's what we're looking at right now. Now, the other thing that's happened, of course, that we talked about at the beginning of the week is we really shattered the 61% retracement in the bonds at 58.17. They went down to 58.09. They rallied a little more than a handle. They're now trading below 59. At least I checked just a little while ago, and they were. This is not good action, folks. Interest rates are going higher. Now, I know there's a lot of inflation in the world, but I talked to John Jameson over in the UK today, and do you know that they pay $8.50 for a gallon of gas? I mean, holy moly, guacamole. And you know how much all of that is taxes. Boy, I mean, you talk about something that is ridiculous, unbelievable. And then we see the supply chains. I mean, this is highly publicized, what's going on with the toys and all the stuff coming from China, going in and going out. But all that's already known. The market understands that. That's why when you look at that transportation index, you got to ask yourself, why isn't this thing going crazy to the upside? So I don't know the answer to that. But the key to all this is watching the euro, because if you watch this euro, which the dollar index is, 33% weight, 53% weighted in the dollar index, that'll give you a pretty good thing to go on. But for me, if you just look at this one chart right here, because this is going to be the one that I think is going to be the best, and that is this euro on the long-term weekly. Remember, we tried it at the 382 retracement. We gave them 15 pips back on that, and that's pretty much what you're looking at right here. So here is where we're looking at this, it's at 115 in the euro. So let's watch that very, very closely. I particularly like that pattern. Those of you that the soybean trade worked really well, it made well over $1,300. Of course, it came right back down again, and it's approaching your original buy point. But there's nothing to do now, because if you're risking $250 on something and it pays you $1,200, I mean, you got to realize that's a 5-to-1 payoff. And when you're looking for 3-to-1, 5-to-1 is pretty good. So that's what you have to do. You have to be able to, and with these markets are so crazy, I mean, with the moves that were happening, this is where you've got to really watch, your risk control. That's the whole thing of what you want to be doing, is to pay attention to the risk control. That's the key to all of this going on. Now, I wanted to tell you another funny baseball story, because it was happening. I happened to be talking to Paula Douglas last night during the game. Of course, she's not a baseball fan. Mark was, but she wasn't. And anyway, when she first moved to Palm Springs 5 years ago after Mark passed away, she was in a what do you call it, consignment store where they were selling antiques. A lot of rich people in Palm Springs, and they have some beautiful old antique stuff. And so she was looking for some type of a coffee table or something. And anyway, there was this guy that was hitting on her. And he said he was a baseball player, and she said, "Oh, that's really good." And so she called me up, and she said she was in this place. She said, "This baseball player is hitting on me," and I said, "Describe him I said what he looks like, and she described me. He was balding and really stocky, good-looking guy, very personable, and I said to him, ask him what team he played for, and I heard him say in the background, he said the Cincinnati Reds. I said, say hello to number 5. I said, I'll lay you odds that's Johnny Bench, because I could hear his voice, and the family, we knew Johnny Bench because he was a friend of Tommy John, and we got to go to dinner with him a couple of times, and sure enough, it was Johnny Bench, and she did go out with him, but she didn't have a very good time because all he did was talk about himself, and that's not a good thing to do, but he was very, very personable. He's got 5 homes all across the country, and he was selling his house in Palm Springs and moving to Florida. So that's a neither here nor there story. Okay, let's move into the baseball stories. But I had so much fun last night just chatting with my daughters. God, the memories, I just couldn't believe all the fun stuff that happened over those years. Okay, let's move on here to looking at one other chart that I think is really important, and that is the Apple. So give me 1 second here, and I'll get this Apple chart up. Hopefully Tim will be able to come on next week, because tomorrow we've got Mr. DiNapoli on, and he promised me he would be in rare form as usual. So let's remind ourselves. So we had a big gap up here in Apple today. Shut the front door. It looked like we were going to see a little bit lower prices. So this is a pretty big gap, folks. We left a gap of $2 in Apple. So I have to post a chart. Just 1 second here, and we'll get it up here. You'll be able to see it. And there we are right there. You see, we have a pretty good wrap. Hold on, I hope we got Timmy on the line. Norm will be back eventually, but we'll have him back eventually. That's my fault, folks. Well, I will tell you the truth. Okay, this is how I see it. And the reason why I'm saying this, I get complaints, from people and stuff. And Norm is really good at what he does. But what people don't like to hear is what happened in the past. I mean, no one cares about that. I mean, I can tell you where to buy and sell all the time in the past. They want to know about the future. So I asked him, I said, focus on future stuff, what we're looking for. And he said, well, he just wouldn't change. And I said, well, when you're ready to change, I said, let me know. So that's it. I like Norm. I think he's no question about it that he's very good. I just think when it's 10-1 in the favor of showing something different, then I have to go with that, and that's the bottom line. I don't want to. If anybody has any questions about it, they can complain to me, but that's neither here nor there. So that's it. If you look at the Apple for today, we'll get back here and take a. Thanks for bringing that up, Mr. Z. Okay, enough said is correct. All right, let's move on here. You'll see today's high in the Apple was a 61% retracement up there at that 144 level. Whether that means anything or not, we have to wait and see how that works. But for me, the thing that I'm focusing on the stock market quite a bit. But that dollar index and the euro, you've got to be ready for that. 877-927-6648.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, I want to take just a moment here to talk about natural gas because it is the wild, wild west of commodities. You'll notice here over the last 2 days of trading, it's given back $10,000. I mean, you think that's a lot of money or everything, but if you take a look at the left-hand side of the chart from September the 15th into the 23rd of September, the market gave back $10,000. 570 down to 470, and then from 470 it went up to 640. But look at that black line, folks. I'm just going to defy human nature and do the work for you this time, because just to show you how these markets have a tendency, and we heard this from Andrew Lowe in his book, The Non-Random Walk Down Wall Street. Look, there's a $10,000 correction there. Lasted 3 days. So what do you think we did yesterday, boys and girls? You can't make this stuff up, can you? I mean, give me a break. Is that true? Look at that. There's 3 $10,000 moves in a period of a month. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get all of those. The thing that's important to remember, folks, these markets repeat. Look for that repetition that you see in the markets, because it repeats over and over again. Whether you're trading a 15-minute chart or a daily chart, whatever it happens to be, find out what those harmonics are, because it'll help you on where to put your stops and things like that. So that's my 2 cents worth, and I'm sticking to it. So remind ourselves here that this is natural gas, and it is natural, and it is wild. Here it is on the weekly. You remember Mr. Z was really, I mean, the dude was really super bullish this stuff when it was down about 2-something, I believe. Yeah, 220 or something like that. And then we had the hurricane, in August, and that took it from 420 all the way up to 640. We made a double top here from where we were in 2014. And of course, with these big corrections we're having, we don't know if this is a major top or not. It's not important, but the one thing you would look for, and let's just do this together since we have some time to kill. Here's what I would be looking at, folks. I would take the high that we made up there at 648. We have a $10,000 drop, okay? And so the first thing I want to see, because I believe in these patterns and these ratios to the nth degree, is anybody want to guess what I would be looking for? Who wants to guess what the old cowboy would be looking for in here, huh? Well, nobody wants to guess here today, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a 10-4. What you want to watch for is for a 382 retracement. That's up $2,000 from where we are right now. So watch the market at 580. Now, if it takes 3 or 4 days to get there, watch it very, very carefully, because that most probably is going to be all the rally you're going to get. But if you get there too quickly, that means it's just a part of that correction of $10,000, and we could easily go up and make new highs. Any market that can drop $10,000 can go up $10,000. We've seen this over and over again in these things. So remind ourselves that these things do repeat, and they are predictable within limits, and that's what you're trying to do with these patterns. The patterns give you one advantage over any system that you're ever going to have, and that is risk control. Because if you're looking for a pattern that's supposed to stop at 508 in the natural gas and it goes to 588, an $800 move, you are flat out wrong, and you have to stand aside. So that's the whole key, is remember that it's about risk control, not about how much money you're going to make. It's how much money you don't want to lose. That's the real, and boy, trust me, boys and girls, that is not an easy task to really get over here. Let's take a quick look here. I want to review this NASDAQ chart, because I really think that we're in the midst of this is nothing more than a 4-day rally here that we're seeing in these things. And I'm seeing, by the way, someone told me that put is now has now made $100. I don't believe it, but anyway, I know one thing: we're not going to risk more than, if this market's up again tomorrow, we'll just get out of that put and take a very small loss in it. But right now, it's actually working okay, I guess. Anyway, you'll see here, this is that number I was looking at here. That number is in about 20 points of where the NASDAQ is right now. That's 14,980. If we get below 14,950, that would revalidate this 1.618 expansion. And if we look at this on let's just go and pull it up on a daily, so you'll see how much damage it's really done here from the high down to the low. That can't be right. That wouldn't possibly be right, would it? Not a chance. Well, that's what I was looking at today anyway. All right, here's the NASDAQ, and we'll get it ready here. Hold on, boys and girls. All right, there we are. There's the 382 in the NASDAQ. That came in at 14,980. That's where we are now, 14,980. So anything above 15,000 will tell us that this is absolutely no good. But anyway, that's what we're watching here in the NASDAQ this morning. So pay close attention to that. And someone asked another question about the Treasury bonds. Folks, this is a disaster waiting to happen. I mean, it flat out is. I mean, it just doesn't have any friends at all, and it shouldn't, because they're printing money hand over fist. Oh, I put the wrong chart. Sorry, boys and girls. Let me get this up here. Put the 4-hour. You'll be able to see where we are. But we're breaking down now below the. You'll take a look at it. You'll see that we've broken below that 61% retracement that was on the daily. This is a 4-hour chart, and I wanted to show the daily because it's doing the same thing here. It's breaking down, and that's not a good sign. That means interest rates are going higher. They're not going lower, and so your costs are going to be increasing, and that's the main thing. And notes look even worse. So these things with debt and all this other stuff, I don't know if it's all been solved or wherever it has been or not. That I'm not sure of. All I can say is that, if it hasn't, then may the trading gods be with you. That's all I can mention. Well, what we'll do is we will have Tim on. Hold on, that might be him Skyping me here from the other side. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? Some people forget that I mentioned the fact that the radio show comes on an hour earlier because we traded spots with the Thinkorswim people. So let's move on here to where we are here. Okay, let's Al, just not worry about Tim, because there's only a few more minutes left to go in the show, and we need him for at least a half an hour. So I'll have Tim on next week. Tomorrow we'll have Joe DiNapoli on, and so that'll be a good show. Joe's always a lot of fun. I've known Joe over 50 years, so that's a good thing too. I think it is anyway. Let's take a look here, folks, at the one other one that looks really interesting that we've been watching for quite some time that doesn't look very good. I mean, we just had a nice rally in it, but this is the Amazon, and if you'll remember here, we posted this head and shoulders pattern. Was it 3 or 4 weeks ago? That was a perfectly symmetrical head and shoulders pattern. The shoulder to the head to the shoulder, exactly the same price. I mean, that's exactly what you want to look for. The market went from 35.50 down to 3,200. Now we're having a little bit of a rally today. And we'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Hi, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. Stay tuned for another great hour of The Trader's Edge, heard here at TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, I'm taking a chart from Mr. Bost's program, but I think it's interesting. And this is the Bitcoin. You'll notice we're up here. We had 56,000 yesterday. We're down just a tiny bit today. Had a big run up. Two things we have to take away, folks. This is not a bubble. Bubbles don't act like this. It doesn't go from 20,000 down to 3,000 to 65,000 down to 28,000. That's not a bubble. That's just a wild market. What these things are, no one is really, well, there's a few people that are sure about it, but I have so little information. Well, I have a lot of information. I don't assimilate it very well because I'm not involved in this market, but it's got to be for real. I'm watching the chart action on it, and it certainly does look real. So that's all I can tell you about this. It's got to be for real because there's just too much money that is involved in this for a for the market not to be really good. Now, I posted the chart of just to give you an idea about ABCD, I posted a chart if you're interested in ABCDs. This happens to be just a 4-minute chart on the E-mini. You can see the really nice ABCD pattern that formed here down there at that 410 level. The low was 409. So, there's a way that you could trade with, if you want to trade with the trend, find an ABCD and, sort of go with that. But I am right now, the old cowboy is having data problems. Well, you've got to love it. You just can't make this stuff up. So anyway, hopefully we will have Tim Bost on next week. That's the first time he's missed us, and given the fact that these markets are so crazy, I'm not surprised at all. So that's pretty much it. Look, I have to go early today, folks. There's something that I really need to do. Can't get out of it. An extra 5 minutes is going to make it much easier for me. So I will catch you guys tomorrow with Joe DiNapoli. Live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. Be safe, my friends.